Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here with a dear old friend, Irish frickin' Greg.
Aww.
Bay Area radio legend.
Careful now, Chasta.
Nope, it's true. I can brag on you. You probably don't realize this, but you were one of the first radio people I met 20 years ago when I moved to...
When you moved to the Bay Area.
The Bay Area.
And
it was like 3 cumulus buildings ago.
Okay, so that was when you first started at the Bone.
Yeah.
And you're still there.
And I'm still there.
You might now be the Lamont, of course.
Yeah, Lamont.
Yeah. But you've been there a long time.
I have been there, yeah. I mean, I've lived here almost 20 years now.
Well, good for you. And
Yeah.
you're still going strong.
Yeah.
Still sounding good.
I mean, strong. I don't know.
Well,
it's radio.
Yeah, you survived. You survived.
I've survived thus far.
It's so funny about radio because in radio terms, people get fired all the time.
All the time.
But if you say that to people in normal jobs,
Yeah.
they're like, you must be really bad at your job. You get fired every 10 minutes.
It's so true. If your key card, it's the joke in radio is like if your key card worked for the day, it's like that's a good day.
Exactly.
It's a brutal industry.
Yeah, no,
but
it is.
you're such. I mean, truly, I know you're gonna get all shy and stuff, but you really are such a huge piece of the fabric of Bay Area radio.
Well, that's very kind.
And everything that means. I mean, you worked for KFOG, which is like so legendary.
Yeah.
In the heyday.
The heyday.
Yeah.
It's funny. I started at Live 105, and they
Yeah, of
just
course.
got inducted into the Bay Area Radio Hall of
that's
Fame,
right.
the radio station. I didn't go to that, but Alex Bennett gave me my start, and he was the morning show
Yeah, of
for
course.
many years at Live.
Yeah. That was before my time.
Yeah. So I went. They did a reunion show, the Alex Bennett show reunion at Cobb's, and it actually sold out 2 shows.
That's
amazingly
awesome.
And it started at 4 p.m. By the way, as you get older, can we make that a new rule that shows...
I've been trying to make this a new rule forever, and everyone makes fun of me.
Yeah, I want to be at home in bed at 9 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Right.
God,
So
we'll work on it together.
Anyway, it was wonderful, but I had 2 or 3 years with Alex, and then, like there was 2 stints at KFOG, but it was almost 20 years total.
Yeah.
And KFOG, radio, you've been at the Bone forever. It kind of becomes your identity a little bit.
Absolutely.
And KFOG definitely was that to me. So when you go to civilian life or whatever afterwards, it takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
But I am here to tell you, I know that your radio career is going strong and long will it flourish. But there is life after radio.
It's so funny you said that sentence because I say that a lot because, 25 years in radio, I feel myself very lucky.
Yeah.
But I use, like, you're one of the names that pops up of proof of life in really successful terms after radio.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us get in that headspace. It's like, what do we do? We've never done
Exactly.
anything else,
Right,
but
exactly.
you're flourishing.
Well, yeah, I keep myself busy, and Renee, who is my
And
partner
Renee's
in crime,
flourishing,
yeah,
yes.
she works for Metallica now,
Yeah.
and yeah, you kind of you develop skills. You talk.
Yeah.
we can talk.
Yes,
right? Clearly,
we'll start
we're
with that.
talking now.
Yeah.
And you gain knowledge. Now it's very. It's very niche.
Yeah.
We can talk, about what underwear Iggy Pop wore on a certain night.
Exactly.
But we couldn't tell you anything about anything else.
That is an art, though.
Yeah, I don't know why I just mentioned Iggy Pop's underwear, other than somebody was playing a Stooges song when I just walked into the...
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
So he just popped in your
I
head.
want to be your dog, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It all
So, anyway,
makes
sorry if I completely derailed everything.
I feel like we're doing a morning show. This makes my heart so happy right now. I can't even tell you. Because we've never been on the air on radio together.
No, we
We've been
haven't.
on the air on Soundwaves before,
yeah,
of course.
yeah.
But it has been far too long.
Yes.
You're like the, I guess, what's the word? Curator?
Yeah.
You're like the curator, the keeper of all KFOG things.
The gatekeeper. Yeah.
You are, and I love that.
It kind of came about by accident. Renee and I, when radio was done with us, or radio was done with us. Let's be honest. We started a podcast because that's what everybody does.
Of course.
And but we wanted it to be different. We didn't want to be just she and I in a studio yakking at each other.
Right.
We wanted to do it like a live radio show.
Like a
One of
pop-up.
the favorite things I did
Yeah.
when we did morning shows, we would go on the road every Friday or
Yeah.
whatever in the summertime. So we had a live audience and we had bands, and it was really good, and it was a lot of work. And these things cost money, obviously. So to kind of fund the podcast, it was called Renee and Irish Greg's Podcast. And it was available on Patreon, and that Patreon page still exists, and we'll talk about that in a second. But really, it started as a podcast. But the way to fund the podcast was, God, I have to be careful. I don't think anybody cares anymore.
Nobody cares.
When KFOG was done, I basically absconded with all of the archives.
That's great though. I'm glad someone cared. I'm glad that it, you kept it and now it still exists in the world.
I had tons of, God knows, I haven't even gotten through half of them yet still. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of 10 of 10 shows.
Wow. How many are you up to now?
God knows, I don't even pay attention. But I have 10 of 10s going back to when 10 of 10 started in 1982.
Wow.
And right through Dave Morey, obviously, he was the main host, and then Annalisa and Renee was briefly a host of 10 of 10. So I wouldn't say all of it, but I have so much stuff. So back to the point when Renee and I started our podcast, in order to fund the podcast, I started loading all of the KFOG material onto Patreon.
Yeah.
And to the Renee and Irish Greg's pop-up.
I remember this,
Patreon page. And everything's available for free. I didn't want to just make people have everything behind a paywall.
Yeah.
But what we did, it's kind of like a tipping thing. If you like what we're doing, give us some money. So people pay $1, some people pay $5 a month, some people pay $10.
Yeah.
We have year-long memberships. The podcast no longer exists. Renee moved to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And COVID, all of that. So that all. But I still post 10 of 10s and acoustic sunrise shows and live from the archive shows. So that's all on a Patreon page. So it's Renee and Irish Greg's pop up on Patreon, which I realize is a bit of a mouthful.
I truly, I'm a radio nerd, as you know, and we all are here. And so the fact that you are keeping it alive, honest to God, thank you for doing that.
Well, I'd love to think it was altruistic. It is altruistic.
Even if it's not.
But no, it is keeping it alive. But the initial, the kind of the basis of it initially was to fund another project.
Yeah.
But people loved it so much that I was just like, I'm going to keep this going.
That's great.
And eventually I'll run out of material and people will lose interest. But at the moment, people still seem to really, really like it. So
KFOG hits hard for a lot of people. When I first moved here, I remember asking everyone I knew, everyone I met for the first time, because I'm a radio nerd, what radio station do you listen to? It was always KFOG.
Yeah.
Always, every time.
Yeah, it has really loyal. It had really loyal listeners and still does. Fogheads. But what's funny, when I go about, I run into people or whatever, and as you run into younger people in life, and you explain what you used to do, or someone recognizes your voice, and they'll say, "Are you Irish Greg from KFOG?" And I'd say yes, and they say, "My dad used to love it." I'm like, oh,
of course.
That is the bloody problem.
Yes, exactly. You are the problem.
Be the one who's listening to KFOG, not your bloody 70-year-old dad.
That is exactly right. He just summed up everything that's happening in radio right now. Okay, but I do want to say later in this episode, we have the transition. We have what happened to Irish Greg and what he's doing now that you can be a part of, and this is so, so fun.